Rodney Crowell, everybody. Houston's own Rodney Crowell. He's got a new album out, and he's just going all over the place talking about his new music. Welcome to Houston again.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Do you miss Houston?
I do. I miss it in my own way. I got a brother-in-law lives here and some cousins.
Strong connection to this city.
Yeah. This is where I came to be.
It formed you.
Yeah, it did for me. It's the 60s. I'm a child of the 60s in Houston.
And you got great memories of the Heights area.
I delivered the Houston Post.
The Houston Post, I remember that newspaper quite well. It's no longer with us.
I know.
A lot of things are no longer with us here in Houston.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about this new album.
It's called Airline Highway. It's interesting, when I recorded it down at Dockside Studios in Maurice, Louisiana, because I wanted to go get in the swamps and make some music. But as we were driving down there, Tyler Bryant and I, the producer, we got on Airline Highway. And I was telling him, I said, hey, you know, where I grew up in Houston, there was a stretch of highway called Airline Drive. It's a drive-in movie theater out there and a Friday night rodeo, jackpot rodeo out on air. And I said, I think Airline Highway is the title of this album that we're about to make. And so we recorded it, and it stuck.
So it's Houston inspired and Louisiana inspired.
It is. And to me, I grew up on the east side of Houston. So one of the things that we did from the time I was 15, I left home at about just before I turned 16 to join a band in Crosby, Texas. I ran away I didn't join the circus, I joined a band.
Which is kind of a circus.
Yeah, it was a circus. But we used to go across the line into Louisiana, down to Houma, Louisiana, to hear the Boogie Kings at the Big Oaks Club out in the swamps. And it was blue-eyed soul music, and we loved it. So we would drive over there, sneak off over there. So I've always had an attachment to Louisiana, and I work construction all over the east side of Houston, in the Ship Channel and around, and I worked with a lot of the itinerant workers that would come, the Cajun workers that would come over. And I loved their language, their patois, and the way they turn the language around. And I've written Leaving Louisiana, Broad Daylight, and Stars on the Water, and Fever on the Bayou, and all of these Louisiana-related cultural songs. So I figured I needed to go record an album in that state so they would show me some love.
Well, I've always thought that Houston had this strong connection with Louisiana.
It does. I mean, I got a good friend who's a writer who grew up in Port Neches. Mary Carr, she's a poet and a memoirist and stuff. And we talked about starting on the east side of Houston, going almost all the way to Baton Rouge was just one swamp, and that we were all swamp people. And
well, it floods enough here in Houston. I think we are swamp people.
We are swamp people, and I like it. I like water. I like humidity. It suits me.
You need to move back here.
Well, we got it in Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
We got humidity. It's not the same kind of humidity. The Caribbean, there's a little bit of Caribbean wind that comes in, and
very cool.
Yeah.
Now, what is it about Houston, or what was it about Houston, although these traits still might be here, that created so much talent? You, ZZ Top, now Beyonce, and many others.
Well, there was, for a long time, there was CL in the pictures, CL Weldon in the pictures. These teen rock and roll. CL Weldon was a boxer, and he had a band. CL in the pictures, and then his brother was Roger Weldon, Roger and the Creations. So Billy Gibbons and I are pretty good friends, and we've talked a lot about the bands on the east side and Pasadena, a lot of bands, and B.J. Thomas,
of course,
who used to play. You go see B.J. Thomas in Pasadena I think at the Nessa Dell Club
before my time.
Yeah, but there was also the Dome Shadows.
The Dome Shadows?
The Dome Shadows was a club we used to go hear really good R&B music. Obviously in the shadow of the Astrodome. Can you believe that the Astrodome was once the eighth wonder of the world, and now it's dwarfed? by the new stadium.
Well, I think it needs to be renovated. Something needs to be done to it, for sure.
It should never be knocked down.
No, a lot of people are trying to protect it, and it is protected. It is protected. But what do you think it was about Houston that created this talent? What were the elements then, and maybe even now?
Wildcatters. You know, the oil industry. So people maybe forget that after the 1900 hurricane just knocked Galveston out, there were some wildcatter dudes that raised $4 million to dig a ditch from Galveston Bay to Houston, which brought the oil industry around the same time they struck oil over on the Louisiana border, and about the same time the Panama Canal came to be, and Galveston got knocked out by the hurricane. It all moved inland to Houston. And they built the ship channel in, brought the shipping trade and the oil industry into Houston. And so Houston thrived when other parts of the state didn't. It was supposed to happen for Galveston, but that 1900 hurricane just knocked it out.
Yeah. Well, what about you and your present and your future? You obviously love music. You're going to keep making music, keep touring?
I'm still making music. I'm still touring. I wrote a memoir called Chinaberry Sidewalks about growing up in Houston. I'm working right now diligently on another memoir it's not about my career at all, because I don't think it's interesting to write about a musical career for me. That's for the Keith Richards of the world. But I'm writing about characters that I had a long friendship with Johnny Cash, and so I get to write personally about him, and other relationships, Townes Van Zandt, Guy Clark, and people that I had.
All these legends. It sounds like it's going to be a great book.
Well, if I get it finished and do my job, it will be. But I'll continue writing songs. I have plans to make 3 or 4 other records that I have in mind. My wife Claudia would tell you that there's nothing wrong with my work ethic. If I'm home, if I'm not on the road, I'm up working, writing. I'm a writer and a performer. I'm a combination. I'm an introvert and an extrovert. I love to get on the stage and perform for people, but I also like that quiet
me time.
Me and just figuring out how to tell the story, how to make this a song out of it.
I follow you on Instagram, and a lot of your posts might have you just in the garden talking about your watermelons and squash and things.
Yeah. Well, I'm careful.
Which is fabulous, I think.
I'm careful to impart the fact that for me, gardening is guesswork, and I love it.
It is for me too.
It is. A
lot of things die on me.
Well, a lot of things die on me, but some things thrive that I never expected.
Yeah.
You may know about my relationship with raccoons due to my...
I think I might have overlooked that.
Yeah, well, you know, for a while there I was raising corn to feed raccoons.
Oh.
And they have a knack for knowing when I'm going to go out and harvest some corn, because they'll knock it down the night before. 3 times in a row they did it. So I've come to the conclusion that when I grow corn in my garden, it's for the raccoons.
Very cool. You have an ecosystem there.
I did, but the very last time after they mauled 2 crops, I just went out and announced to the woods, and I said, okay, raccoons, this patch right here is for you, and this patch is mine. Lo and behold, they raided the patch that I said it was for them and left mine. And we got 4 or 5 ears of corn that we got to eat.
Well, there's plenty of raccoons here in Houston. And you know what? People in Houston love you. I mean, they know you're from here. It seems like a treat every time you come to town.
Yeah, well, they should love me. I'm lovable.
It's been said. It's been alleged, right?
If I don't say it, who will?
So again, the name of the album is Airline Highway.
Do you know? Well, an airline highway is a straight line between one town and another. That I thought it had something to do with an airplane or something, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
And it also, the airline highway stretched from Baton Rouge to New Orleans is the southernmost stretch of Highway 61 of Bob Dylan fame. So I got in a little bit
A little bit of that in there.
My own little
Yeah.
take on.
Very cool.
highways.
Well, there's an airline drive in Corpus Christi where I'm from too. I used to live close to airline.
So it must
drive.
be a straight
It
line.
must be a straight line connecting all of us, I think. Ooh, that's deep. Hey, do you want to play something?
Yeah, let's play something in G.
In G? Okay, so
Can you kick it off?
I'm not very good. You
Yeah,
know,
well,
I'm an
we'll see
amateur at
about
many
that.
things. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Okay, here we go.
I got one. Woke up this morning on a sidewalk black as coal.
He woke up this morning
I woke up this morning
on a sidewalk full of coal.
and the sidewalk black as coal.
That too.
Then comes your five. You don't need another reason. I'm so way down in the hole. All right, now you go.
Wow. Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
See
All right,
that?
any final words? The new album. When are you coming to town to perform?
November 7th.
November 7th.
This I've locked in.
Heights Theater?
Heights Theater.
I love the
Always,
Heights Theater.
always a blast at the Heights Theater. November 7th, I got a new band put together. Some really, really exceptional musicians that are taking a pay cut to play with me.
Oh.
So it's going to be
They're
better.
showing you love there.
It's going to be better than it could be.
Okay. Well, great. I love the Heights Theater.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Any final words for the people of Houston?
The people of Houston, well, you know, I was talking to a friend of mine who drove me over here, and we realized that the population was more than 2 million now. But I think, for me, I think Houston just gets better.
Mhm.
I do. I don't know why.
I love Houston.
I'm not sure why I think that. I mean, I have this romantic attachment to Houston. I grew up here, and I was an innocent child here, and left and went to see the whole, at least half of the rest of the world. But I'll always come back here, and luckily my brother-in-law and his children and wife live in the Rice University area, so we can always have a touchstone here and come back. And I have cousins spread out. I don't know where they all are now.